ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء نحوا سنقرئك فلا تنسى.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين، واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Inshallah, we are going to take lesson 8. Lesson 8, we are going to continue our argument on those three scenarios. So, if you recall, just a quick recall, this is a beautiful setup. This is your ground rule of thumb. Owned item. You have these items which you have. Either you have prepared it for business or not prepared it for business. If you have prepared it for business, that means khums will be on the increased value of it, even if you don't sell it and you are able to sell it. Okay? That's understood? Perfect. Number two, not prepared for business and you inherited it. $100 garden, you sold it $200. No khums on it, no khums on the 100 extra. Why? Because it was inheritance, it was dowry. We mentioned these. I'm not going to, if you want to know this, go back to this previous session. So no khums on the increased value. You sold your garden for 200, you got it from your father, no khums on it. Third section, okay? You purchased it, but not for business, for personal, for your family. At the end of the year, the value increased. You did not sell it. No need to pay khums of it. You sold it. Then the extra which you get is going to be from your annual income. Annual income. That means at the end of the year, if it's remaining, you pay the khums of it. Not remaining, no khums of it. Good. Ground rule understood. And we said that the increase in the growth could be attached and detached. Okay, attached like the tree became bigger, the goat became bigger, or detached, milk in the goat or dates in the tree. Let's go to our today's session. So Sayyidi Sistani now gives us two examples. Example on palm trees, example of goats. Now you will say that what the heck I have to do with palm trees? As I mentioned, you don't have palm trees, but there are people, they have it. So the rules have to be set. If you are not a Hausa student, you don't have to go through this session, okay? But if you have agricultural product, go through this subject. If you are a Hausa student, go to this, because these are examples of the rules mentioned in our previous session, the three rules. Remember the three things? So if you're Hausa students, please listen and understand this carefully, because this will make you master in helping the people out, because these two examples are going to put the major ground rules of the coming rulings. And all the rulings are application of these three ground rules, especially for the business. Many businessmen, they come and they ask you, if you're a scholar, future, you're a Hausa student, you'll help the people. You need to understand these rules of business very much, because non-business rules are easy. Business rules are a bit which requires more applications and more understanding. So ruling number 1214. الذين يملكون الغنم. Those people are owning the goats. يجب عليهم في آخر السنة إخراج خمس الباقي بعد مؤونتهم. They have to take the khums out of it at the end of the year. Okay? The remaining. بعد مؤونتهم. So you have goats, personal goats. The goats are bringing baby goats. Baby goats are becoming big. The goats are bringing baby goats, and they are becoming, the farm is becoming greater. The trees are becoming bigger. So at the end of the year, those people who are owners of the goats, يجب عليهم في آخر السنة, it is obligatory upon them at the end of the year, إخراج خمس الباقي, to take the khums out of the remaining after what? Because you purchase for your food, you purchase 100 goats, you ate about 80 goats. I mean, I'm not telling you are a monster. You ate 80 goats in the whole year. So you got like 100 goats. So you ate 80 goats. You have 20 goats remaining. You purchase it for what? To spend on yourself as your provision. You purchase 100 goats for your provision. So you're owning 100 goats. To live on it, to eat and drink, to slaughter it, to eat the meat of it, to cook kukupaka and Zanzibari and mix and whatsoever. Okay? يجب عليهم في آخر السنة. It is wajib on them at the end of the year. إخراج خمس الباقي بعد مؤونتهم. After you have spent on your provision, whatever you spend, you have to take the khums of the extra remaining. بعد مؤن من نماء الغنم من الصوف والسمن, from the growth of the goat, such as wool, such as the butter, such as the milk, and the offspring which has begotten, the baby goats, kids. Okay, so everything. وإذا بيع شيء من ذلك في أثناء السنة, if something was sold from these during the year, وبقي شيء من ثمنه, so you sold some goats, you got plenty goats, more than your provision, so you sold extra goats. What happens? The extra goats you sold, you got money. That money, you used it in your family. Let's say if some of that money was remaining, you will pay the khums of it because it's your annual income, yearly income. You got your income for, so end of the year, if anything is remaining, either from the goat, extra things from the goat, or from the money after selling these products, you have to pay the khums of it. Okay? وَإِذَا بِيعَ شَيْءٌ مِّن ذَلِكَ فِي أَثْنَاءِ السَّنَةِ, and if something of those was sold during the year, وَبَقِيَ شَيْءٌ مِّن ثَمَنِهِ, and the money or the compensation of it was remaining at the end of the year, وَجَبَ إِخْرَاجُ خُمْسِ أَيْضًا, that also you have to pay the khums of it. Why? Because that's the remaining, that's the excessive, that's what have been exceeded from your annual provision, annual expenses. وكذا الحكم في سائر الحيوانات. Similar rule will be applied in the other animals. فإنه يجب تخميس ما يتولد منها إذا كان باقيا في آخر السنة. So you have to pay it's obligatory to pay the khums of whatever is begotten from it, if it is remaining by itself at the end of the year, or you sold it, or its cost after selling it. Okay, the substitute of it after selling it, it remains. The bottom line of this ruling, how can we apply it in our life? I don't have goats, I don't have things. Don't worry. Let's say you have a small farm. You purchase few chicken. You like to eat chicken, fresh, desi chicken, you see, natural chicken. You're a natural person. So you have a house, you have a small farm in a small garden, you kept chicken in it. Those chicken, your aim is to live on it, live on the eggs of it, live on you slaughter them, you eat them. You don't like farm chicken. You don't like those white chicken. They pump hormones in it. They make them so huge and so fat, and a lot of chemicals are there. A lot of water is injected. It's a messed up chicken. You don't like to eat that. You want to eat your own farm chicken. Okay, so you got chicken because you want to take care of them, eat from them, and let them breed, make babies, make chicks, and let those chicks grow and eat their eggs and eat them. So it's a personal thing. Let's say at the end of the year, some chickens were remaining. So if those chickens were not there, the money of the chicken would have been there. So you have to pay the khums of money. So now since your money, so it's a saving. In bottom line, all these eggs remaining, chicken remaining, whatever remaining, these are all your annual savings. So obviously you have to pay the khums of its value. Okay? Because these are yours and extra. Okay, how can I apply I don't have chickens at home. How can I apply it in my house? When you buy rice, when you buy dal, when you buy gosht, when you buy the slaughtered chicken in your refrigerator, you got it for what? For your personal provision to live on them. At the end of the year, you have to get a paper and a pen and go into the kitchen, open the fridge. What is remaining? 5 chickens are remaining. Rice is remaining. This is remaining. 5, 6 eggs are remaining. Go to another cupboard. Dals are remaining. This much dal is remaining. This much. Go to the bathroom. 1 full toothpaste is remaining. Well, all these things, if they were not there, the money of it would have been there. So these are your savings, which you had purchased from your annual income. It was not khums paid. Okay. So as you have saving in the bank, as you have items saving in the house, this is all the ruling is about. Pay the khums of your saving. But the example he gave was the goat example. Okay. So now you got the practical example. So at the end of the year, you have to go, you have to tell your wife, stop, no cooking today, no nothing. Let's count the eggs, count them. Now that sometimes becomes too much to do, especially if the kitchen is packed, but that's a responsibility to see what is remaining. So I know some mu'mineen, they did this for 4 or 5 years. They found out that whatever remaining is an average of $1,000. They'd say, okay, Sheikh, can we consider we have $2,000 of items remaining and get $400 out instead of $200 of khums? Yeah, you can do that. Okay, make high estimations, pay khums of extra, pay extra khums. The 12th Imam will get it, no one will get it. Okay, so that's the 12th Imam's money. You are giving it to 12th Imam. So if you give extra to 12th Imam, no problem. You'll not go to Jahannam because you paid extra khums. So therefore, just pay the extra. And there is another issue here. Okay, remember that 10 boxes and you did not pay the khums. I mean, you did not pay you gave the boxes to Sayyidi Sistani, and then you purchased it from Sayyidi Sistani by giving Sayyidi Sistani money. So what people they do? Now, let's say you and your wife counted everything in the house. At the end of the year, that you had 10 eggs. 2 eggs needs to be given to Sayyidi Sistani. 10 kgs rice, 2 kg rice needs to be given to Sayyidi Sistani. 5 kg dal, lentil, 1 kg. Now, come on. I mean, you're going to take these eggs and everything. So what do people do? They don't pay this. They pay khums in substitute of it, in substitute of this value. But remember, we mentioned, that means you are purchasing the khums. These 2 eggs are khums from these 10 eggs. You're paying money to Sayyidi Sistani in substitute. That means you are buying these 2 eggs. That means you have to make sure that the money which you are going to pay the khums is khums paid. Khums of khums, they call it. Because you purchased, now you had money, $10, you got these 2 eggs. Now I'm hypothetically telling you $10. Don't tell me what the golden eggs, $10, $5 for an egg. Where are we living? Anyhow. So let's say those 10 eggs, you have 10 eggs remaining in the house, like those 10 boxes. So now these 2 eggs, you need to give it to Sayyidi Sistani, Damadullah, representative. You come to representative bringing these 2 eggs, Sayyidina, this is khums. Okay, representative has to take it. If he laughs, just tell Sayyidi Sistani, complain to him. If you bring khums to wakil's marja and they are eggs, he has to take it. If he laughs, is not supposed to be in that position. This is my khums, take it. You just only want dollars? Just take these 2 eggs, okay? So what will I do? Send it to Sayyid Sistani? No, take permission from him. Use it in your projects, give it to the poor, Sahm Sada, find a poor Sayyid, give him this egg, 1 Sahm Imam, sell it, and then take the money Sahm Imam, so that the egg is sold, and send Sahm Imam to Sayyid Sistani. That's not your headache. That's the headache of the representative. Your headache is to get these 2 eggs out of your life and hook it on the shoulder of the representative. Many people, they say, oh, I'm the wakil. They're like hundreds, you'll find them wakil. But when you give them these 2 eggs, you'll find very few wakil remaining. Very rarely the representatives are remaining. For dollars, everybody's wakil. For eggs, you can send it to Sayyid Sistani, send it to the main representative, go give it to the office. What will we do with this egg? No, you have to take it. You claimed you are representative, just take it. So these are the 2 eggs, okay, which are khums. Now what usually mu'minin they do, they see how much is the cost of this egg. Okay, let's say $2, $1 per egg. So these $2 you are going to give as a substitute to Sayyid Sistani or to his wakil. Okay, now what will happen, that these 2 eggs, you have purchased it. These were khums. So you have purchased khums. Okay, from which money? From those $2 which you have, which you are supposed to pay the khums of it. So here are 3 options. Either you purchase these 2 eggs, $2 from the khums paid money, finish. Or you pay the khums of those $2, like pay $2.50. So $0.50 is khums of this $2.50. So $2.50 is remaining. We're going to talk about it more. So $2.50, $2 are the remaining after taking $2.50. How many 50 cents are there? 5 50 cents. You take out 1 50 cents, khums. How many 50 cents are remaining? 4 50 cents, which are $2. And that is khums paid. You took the 50 cent out. That was the khums of these $2. Now these $2 are those 2 eggs you purchased. So those eggs are from the khums paid money. So that's why they say, take it a flat. That's why they say that if you have savings in your kitchen, pay not 20%, pay 25%. 20% is the khums, and then 25% is the khums of khums, the substitute money which you are going to pay, which is not khums instead of this. So that is the khums of this khums, which you purchased it. Okay, so in nutshell, to relieve the headache, whenever you see items in your house and you don't want to go into detailed headaches, just pay 25% of the total. So you have 10 eggs, okay, just pay $2.50 khums. Each egg is $1, so you have $10. So $2, 2 eggs, $2, but those need to be khums paid. So then what you will do is pay $2.50. That's it. The eggs are yours. You don't need to give it to the marja. The same thing goes with the toothpaste, dal, whatsoever in the house. So now, wasn't that a practical ruling? Yes, it was. So on money, you pay 20%. On items in the house, if you are going to pay from money which is not khums paid, 25%. Okay? 5% is the khums of those 25, and that too is the purchase of the khums. You purchase the items, okay? Remember the example of the box. Let's move on to the next one. The next example, say the Sistani gives, is about the garden, okay? That was one, that was about your annual expenses. Now, in garden, as I'm going through the garden, remember there are 2 things in this example. The garden itself and the trees which are grown in the garden. Again, what are those 2 things? The garden itself and the trees which they grow on the garden. So first we are going to discuss the trees which are going to grow on the garden. And then we are going to discuss the garden itself. And that will be our lesson for today. Are you ready? Okay, let's move on. Tawakkalna ala Allah. Ya Allah, help us. Because it's a long, like those biochemistry, those modules of biochemistry. The formulas, they're very lengthy, 1 page, 2 page, 3 page. So this ruling is about 3 slides. So bear with me, 4 slides, step by step, okay? But in a nutshell, remember those 3 concepts we've mentioned. And remember that attached and detached growth. And remember, for business or not for business. Cool? Let's move on. So this is an example of application of those ground rules which we took. Let's move on. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Tawakkalna ala Allah. Ruling number 1215. إِذَا عَمَّرَ بُسْتَانًا. If he made a garden. Okay? If he made a garden. It's not because the sweat is because of this mas'ala. It's long. No, because we are having hot weather, heat wave here. إِذَا عَمَّرَ بُسْتَانًا. If he established a garden, built a garden. وَغَرَسَ فِيهِ نَخْلًا. And he planted in this garden palm trees. وَشَجَرًا. And the trees. What's the purpose? Look at the purpose in red. لِلْإِتِّجَارِ بِثَمَرِهِ. The garden is personal, but the trees are for business. Good. The garden is personal. The trees are for business purpose. So we have two in one. 2 rules are in one. Okay. We have the garden. The rule of personal property will apply on it. If it increases in value, okay, you don't have to pay the khums of it unless if you sell it. However, the garden itself, if it was for business, you have to pay the khums of it if you're able to sell. When you did not sell, then on the increased value. Remember that 100, 200 example dollar, okay, in our previous session. So you have this garden and you have the trees on the garden. The hypothesis of this ruling is that the garden is for personal use. You established this garden, but then you said, let me do some income on this garden. So what did you do? You planted some trees on the garden. Okay, you planted some palm trees to get the dates and sell the dates. Or no, you planted some trees in the gardens so that you can get the fruits and sell, or sell the wood of it. So therefore, we have this situation where we have this garden and we have to sell the fruits of this garden. Okay, garden is personal and trees are for the business purpose. So, وَغَرَسَ فِيهِ نَخْلًا وَشَجَرًا وَلِلِاتِّجَارِ بِهِ. So he planted the trees, palm trees, and the trees to do the business through the fruits of it. لَمْ يَجِبُ إِخْرَاجُ خُمْسِهِ. The khums will not be obligated. Okay, why? But this is for business. Wait, hold on your horses. Hold on your horses. Let's see the condition. The khums will not be obligated on it. Okay, on what? On these trees. But you said these trees are for the business. Yes, wait. لم يجب إخراج خمسه. إذا صرف عليه مالا لم يتعلق به الخمس. If he spent on the trees wealth which was exempt from khums, it was mirath. It was mirath. It was inheritance, or it was a dowry. Remember that tree which a lady got in dowry, or the goat? Now we are going to limit to the tree because the example is on the garden. So this lady, she got dowry, or the guy got inheritance. So the tree was inherited. He built the garden. His father said that the trees are I'm giving you the trees. So he got these trees from his father's garden after his death, and he planted these trees in his garden. Okay, so these gardens, or the wealth which is purchased, the trees, was from the inheritance. So he says that he spent on them, he purchased these trees, he purchased the fruits, he spent on them from the wealth. The khums was not obligated on it, such as the inherited money. Or مالا قد أخرج خمسه من كأرباح السنة السابقة, or khums paid money. So the trees were purchased from what? Khums paid money from the previous years. Yeah, the money was clean, or no, it was inherited money. Finish. So there is no khums on the trees at the end of the year, because the khums has now the inheritance has now become converted into the form of trees. So now the trees are khums paid, or the trees are inheritance. So that money which was khums paid is now in a form of tree. That money which was inheritance, now it is in a form of trees. Got it? So now the tree is inherited form of wealth. Okay? Or khums paid. So now so there will be no khums on it. أو مالا فيه الخمس كأرباح السنة السابقة. Or no, there is khums. He purchased it from his monthly أرباح السنة السابقة. So from his profits or benefits or income remaining of the previous years. Benefits remaining from the previous year. ولم يخرج خمسه. He did not take the khums out of it. كأن اشترى ما غرسه فيه بثمن على الذمة. Okay, so he purchased, but he purchased on credit as a loan, so he did not pay. Okay, كأن اشترى ما غرسه فيه بثمن على الذمة. So he had purchased a tree on loan. He did not pay. He purchased on credit. He said, I'll pay you later on. Okay? وَوَفَّاهُ مِمَّا يَجِبُ فِي الْخُمْسِ. And he paid from money which he had to pay the khums of it. So what is the difference here? The difference is he got trees, he did not pay anything. He said, I'll pay you later. Okay? So that means he did not pay anything. He got it free. Free means not instant payment was done. However, when he tried to pay off his debt, okay, he tried to pay off his debt. From which money he paid his debt? From money which khums was obligated. Okay, khums was obligated. So we will say the trees, you don't have to pay the khums of it. Okay, you have to pay the khums of the money you paid, which was supposed to be khums. So trees are exempt from khums because they are debt. They are debt. But you paid the money you later on from non-khumsed money which was unkhumsed. That's why you have to pay the khums of that money, not the trees. Now somebody will say, okay, you hold the ear like this or like this. I don't know how to hold it like that. It's same. Yes, but there is a difference. There is a kind of legal difference in Islamic law. Okay, so the tree was taken by debt. So you did not pay anything immediately. So it is in your dhimma, in your responsibility. One day you have to pay. So now when you paid, after 6 months, after 1 year, after whatever, you paid it from unkhums paid money. They say, hold on there. The trees will not have khums, but this money which you have paid, you have to pay the khums of it. So what does that mean? The trees finally, after paying the khums of that money, will be from the khums paid money. And that's what we said here in the previous segment. Inheritance or khums paid money. You purchase tree, that tree will not be khums. So the tree will not be khums, but the money you paid from non-khums money must be khums. Okay? Na'am, yajibu alayhi حينئذ. Yes, however, it is obligatory on him to pay, in that case, khums of the wealth which was paid to pay the debt. Okay? Madfu' nafsahu, the same wealth which you paid to pay the debt, that is to be khums. Okay. Next slide. Another scenario. So let's track the scenario. So the garden is personal. The trees are to earn, okay? To business, to trees. So if the trees are purchased from inheritance, no khums. If the trees are purchased from khums paid money, no khums. If the trees were purchased from credit, no khums. But the money you paid, you have to make sure that that is khums paid, or like paying the loan, or you pay the khums of that money. So this was the scenario when the trees, no khums on the trees. Okay, the trees, no khums on it. Now let's see. وَأَمَّا إِذَا صَرَفَ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ رِبْحِ السَّنَةِ. However, if the purchase was done from the monthly income before the end of the year, okay, you purchase tree in June, you purchase tree in July, every month you had some savings, you started purchasing. At the end of the year, now you have to pay the khums. So instead of money being saving, now your saving has been converted into trees, form of trees. So he says, وَأَمَّا إِذَا صَرَفَ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ رِبْحِ السَّنَةِ. However, if he spent on these trees from his monthly income, like income during the year, okay, from the income of that year, قَبْلَ تَمَامِهَا, before the end of the year did not finish. So that means the trees are so far so good. There's no khums on the tree. The money has been converted into the tree. But at the end of the year, the tree will be as your savings. Instead of money, it's your savings. فَيَجِبُ إِخْرَاجُ خُمْسِ نَفْسِ مَا غَرَسَهُ. Here, the trees, the khums of the tree is going to be paid. What does that mean? That means the value of the tree. The value of the tree. No, I purchased the tree for $10. No, but at the end of the year, the value is $15. So now you have to pay the value of the tree, not the money paid. Because during the year you purchase, end of the year, your $10 has become $15. So there's an increase in the value of your $10, which is now in the form of tree, which is $15. So you have to pay the khums of that خمس نفس ما غرسه وأحدثه بعد استثناء مؤونة السنة. After you have taken your provision of the year out, after you have paid the bills, water bill, farmer bill, this bill, that bill, whatever net is remaining, you have to see, you have to pay the khums of it. If the net is remaining below the whatever was spent, okay, then there's no khums. If it's more than whatever you spent, or whatever you had to spend on your family members, so whatever you ate from the dates, you ate from that spinach, you ate from this, you ate from the apples, so you ate, but then there was something remaining from your trees, the fruits, the attached or the detached, so all that has values. That value is going to be khums, after obviously excluding the annual provision expenses. So you spent on your family, that is exempt. You don't have to pay the khums of it. Even if it was included in the value, okay, you will exempt that. The value was $15, but if everything was, but you ate worth of a lot of things, so the value came down. So that value will be khumsed. Let's say the value became 20 if the fruits were there, but you guys ate those fruits in your year. So the value is now $15. So you will pay the $15 khums of it's $15 and not the $20, because $5 the total value of it was more than that, but you guys ate towards the year. So at the end of the year, after taking out the annual provision and annual expenses and whatever, the value was 15. So you will pay the khums of 15 because that is your savings of the income. Now, how can we practice do it practically on our life? So remember that eggs, those eggs, okay? Now at the end of the year, what did we say? You'll take these eggs to the representative of Marja, okay? But to relieve him, you are going to purchase these 2 eggs. So when you are going to purchase these 2 eggs, you are going to pay the substitute of it, $2 we had mentioned, okay? But that should be from the khums paid $2. And if it was from your annual income, so they have to pay the khums of khums. That means 25% of those 2 eggs, okay? Or the total of the 10 eggs. So 20% is for the 10 eggs, and that 5% extra is for that 2 eggs. Like you pay $2.50, not $2, because that $0.50, when you put it in total, it is khums of those $2. When you take it out, the remaining is $2 as khums. Okay, let's now add something. That is understood. Let's add. You are going to check the value of those eggs at the end of the year. Let's say there was a shortage in eggs in the market, and the price of the eggs went up at the end of the year. So there was an increase in the market value. Okay, remember, increase in the trees. The tree was $10, it became $15, $20. So after exempting $15, so you will pay the khums of $15. So you purchase eggs for $10, 10 eggs. The remaining were 10 eggs. So now you have to pay 2 eggs khums. You purchase for how much? $1 an egg. But no, there was a shortage in the market. The chickens, they did strike or protest. We are not going to lay eggs. Something happened, economical crisis. People are looking for eggs. No eggs are there. So now we have these 2 eggs are very valuable. Bad luck of yours. You try to check the price of the egg in the market. $1 became $2. Oh my goodness, $2 per egg. That means those eggs are the eggs which you had purchased. The $10 egg now are $20 eggs. Okay, so that means those eggs, 2 eggs, are worth of $4. So then you will have to pay $5 khums. Take out $1, $4 remaining, which are the khums paid, khums of the khums. So that means you purchased the khums. When you give $4 to say the Sistani from the khums paid money, you purchase those 2 eggs. And then if you are not going to pay from the khums paid money, you are going to pay 25%. That means you are going to pay $5 of those $40, okay? So that's how you calculate at the end of the year. Let's say you got toothpaste. The toothpaste is remaining as it is. So you'll check the market value of it. If same value, that's fine. Take 25% out of it. However, if you use toothpaste and the toothpaste was half left, so does it have any market value? In some poor country, it might have, but most of the countries, no one will buy that half toothpaste tube from you, okay? Or half bar of soap or half something which has been used, they will not buy. So that means the market value is 0. That means there's no khums on it. Okay, this is how you apply. So the khums is on the market value of it at the end of the year. So if it rises like the eggs, you pay the khums 25% of the raised value. If it goes below value. If it same value, same value. If it doesn't have any value, like I remember when I was a kid in Pakistan, they used to sell imported perfumes, had a great value. So they used to sell half bottle of perfume, one quarter of bottle of perfume, and people would buy those spray perfumes. Okay, people would buy because it's imported outside world, this, that. So they would have half bottle of perfume would have value. So if you had a perfume in that time, half bottle, you will have to check how much is the value and you will have to pay the khums of it. But nowadays, I don't think so people will get pay for half a bottle of perfume unless if the perfume was unique and it's out of the market and it had become one of the artifacts, then obviously it might have a great market value. So the bottom line is you pay the khums of an item you purchased in the year from your annual monthly income, and at the end of the year some of that item or entire of that item was remaining, you have to check the value of it in the market. If it has a value above the value purchase, you pay the, like gold and those example of the egg in the crisis, you pay the 25% of the highest from non-paid money, non-khums money. And from khums money, you just pay 20%. And then and if it was below, you pay the khums of below value. Let's say the gold price went down below and you had gold. Or if it was nothing, like that half toothpaste and half a bar of soap and half bar of these kind of things, you see, then there is no market value, then there is no khums on it. That's it. Okay. So he says, وَإِذَا صَرَفَ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ رِبْحِ السَّنَةِ, if he had spent on him from his monthly income during the year and before the end of the year, then at the end of the year, he had to pay the khums of the tree itself. What is the value of it after excluding the provision? وَعَلَى أَيْ تَقْدِيرٍ, in both cases, يَجِبُ الْخُمْسِ فِي نَمَائِهِ. In both cases, the tree has increased growth. It could be self-increase, attached growth or detached growth. So he says in both cases, the detached growth or something similar to detached growth, such as fronds, like palm trees leaves, or the fruits, or the fronds, or the dry branches they use for lighting fire. All these things, they are going to be added. بل في نمائه المتصل, the attached growth as well. The tree became big. So all the attached or detached, everything value got increased, you have to pay the khums of it. Okay, because now you have something which has extra value. It is why? Because you purchased this from your money. If your money was now available, you would have paid the khums of it. If it was in the bank, that $100 might have become $110. So you would have paid the khums of $110, not $100. You see? So the whole saving is now. So the whole tree is your savings. With this increase in that attached in growth or the detached growth, increased value of it, it's all your annual savings. Okay, so it has to be khumsed. More than that, and also it is also obligated to pay the khums of the tree, the new trees he planted. الذي يغرس جديدا للسنة التالية. You purchased new trees from this year's money for next year. So you have to pay the khums of it because this money is for this year. And that tree is for the next year. وَإِنْ كَانَ أَصْلُهُ مِنَ الشَّجَرِ الْمُخَمَّسِ ثَمَنُهُ. Even if you had got this tree from the khums paid tree, such as you cut a branch and you planted that twig. You know, sometimes they cut the twig or a branch and they put it inside another tree and it grows. يُنْبِتُ فَيَقْلَعُهُ وَيَغْرِسُهُ. وَكَذَا إِذَا نَبَتَ نَبَاتًا جَدِيدًا. Similarly, if a new plant grows in your property, in your garden, that means new value has been added. Like baby palm trees, that small palm trees, and like that, whatever has value. بِالْجُمْلَةِ, in general, he says, in nutshell, كُلُّ مَا يُحْدِثُ جَدِيدًا, everything happens new, adds new value, commercial value, financial value من الأموال which comes inside his property في ملكه يجب إخراج خمسه. It is obligatory to pay the khums of it في آخر سنته, at the end of his year. بعد استثناء مؤونة سنته, after taking the after exempting the provision of the year. All this is application of what we said before. Let's see the last slide and we'll be done for today. Okay, so that was things added in the garden. And remember the rule. What was the rule? The rule was for business purpose. And remember, business purpose, you have to pay the khums of the value even if you don't sell it. Even if you don't sell it. So the whole ruling which we mentioned, that you have to pay the khums of it, but I have not sold it. Yes, pay the khums of the tree, pay the khums of the increase, and any increase in the value of these trees, you have to pay the khums of it. Why? Because this is your thing which you have purchased for business. You have done for business. So we said if you had a shop and you had some products in your shop and the value increased of that product, even if you don't sell it, you have to pay the khums of it. So the whole idea here is in this ruling, don't forget, please don't get mixed up. Many students, they say, Maulana, Sheikhna, you said that if I have my garden, if I increase anything in it, then I pay the khums of it at the end of the year. Okay, if I'm going to sell it, yes, but here you are not going to sell it. Here you are going, it is your business. If you are able to sell it and you did not sell it, then you have to pay the khums of it. But for your monthly income, which you buy grocery, which you buy eggs, okay, we said that is your personal thing. That is your personal money. And you have not purchased it, you check the end of the year. So we were explaining the ruling of business, but we had to shed some light on personal ruling. So if you have got mixed up into those eggs, the example of those eggs was personal savings. So as your money is remaining and to pay the 25%, those in example of egg, rice, toothpaste, all those were personal savings. Okay, those were in parentheses in this session which I mentioned. So don't please get mixed up with that, because you're not going to go and sell the eggs you want to keep. This you have planned to sell it. The tree is for business purpose. You want to sell the dates. You want to sell the whole tree which you planted. The aim is business. But those eggs which you purchase at home were not for the business purpose. Okay, so these two rulings are two different rulings. But I had to just explain, bring that ruling here so that you get the idea of which section, the third section, which we said that he purchased, this one. He purchased from his monthly income. Okay, that is why I had to make a resemblance. But this whole ruling is about business. Now, let's take this last one and we will be done. Listen to this lecture again and again. ولا يجب الخمس في ارتفاع قيمة البستان في هذه الصورة. So the garden's value got increased because there was an increase in the tree, value of the tree, value of the days, attached, detached. There was an increase. So the value of the garden, but you don't have to pay the khums on the value of the garden. Why? Remember, garden was personal and the tree was for business. Remember, it was a combination. If you have forgotten, go back and listen to the beginning. So the garden was for personal. The trees were planted for business. So that is why he says, if the value of the garden got increased, so you don't have to pay the khums of it at the end of the year. Why? Because it's your personal. Yes, if you sell it, okay, then we are going to tell you to pay the khums of it. So that's what's coming in these 2 bullet points. Na'am. So the value increased. You don't have to pay the khums of it. Wala yajibu. But he says, na'am, however, إذا باعه بأكثر مما صرفه عليه. من ثمن الفصيل وأجرة الفلاح وغير ذلك ثبت الخمس في الزائد لكونه من أرباح سنة البيع. So let's say the garden was $100. He sold it in $200 and he had spent $50 on the garden. So his cost of the garden was $150. So the net remaining is $50. So we say that you can exempt $150 because you had spent on the garden, and $50 extra you have to pay the khums of it because that's your annual profit, net profit of the year, your selling of the year, sale of the year. Okay. So if he had sell it for more than what he had spent, but if you sell it for $150, no khums because you spent on it. And if you sell it 100, there's a loss. So if you sell it for 100, loss because you spent $50 on it. And if you sell it 150, no khums. If you sell it for 200, $50 is your net profit of the year. So you are going to pay, obviously, khums on your income, like the salaries you are getting. So this is if this was for business purpose. The tree, you have to pay the khums on the value, increased value of it, if it was for the business purpose. And this garden was for personal. So there's no khums on it if the value increase. Unless if you sell it, then you will exempt all your expenses of it and then pay the khums of the extra net profit. And that is from the annual income. That means if it stays at the end of the year and you have not used it. Good. Last bullet. However, if his garden was built, if the garden itself was for business purpose, red color coming back, red is for the businessman. Okay. وجب الخمس في ارتفاع القيمة الحاصلة في آخر السنة وإن لم يبيعه كما عرف. Okay, so if the garden was built for the business purpose and it was $100 and 50 spent and $50 was net profit, you have to pay the khums of 50. But I have not sold it. Yes, remember the first scenario? We said the Sayyidi Sistani mentioned 3 scenarios. Even if you don't sell it, because it was for your business purpose, where is that thing? Yes. Khums on the increase even if you don't sell it, okay, and you were able to sell it, as he mentioned previously. كما عرفت. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم